Hi, I just want to give you a couple of examples of what can happen when your blog is actually hacked and the kind of things that are going on all the while, the kind of hacks that are constantly happening to people's blogs without them even realizing, the kind of attacks that go on in the background. Now this is actually an old site that I set up back in 2009 for my mother, chrisgarrett.co.uk, and she's never actually used it, so there's sort of an introductory post on there and that's it. So it's a very quiet blog, gets practically zero traffic, it's never been used for anything, and yet it still got hacked. It got targeted and hacked, even though there are no backlinks pointing to it, only one post, etc. Now, when I first found out this was hacked, the only reason I found out was the host told me. Obviously, it's not a blog that I'm regularly keeping an eye on, so I found out through the web hosts themselves who suspended the account. Now, here I am in the cPanel AW stats for the site itself, and we can see here chrisgarrett.co.uk, looking at September 2012. It was September that this happened in. Now, if I scroll up, you can see that generally this site gets very little traffic, 50 to 60 or 70 uniques a month, so it's a very quiet blog. As I say, there's practically nothing on there. And then in September, all of a sudden the numbers went up massively, and you can see here 7th, 8th, 9th of September, suddenly they were doing 400 visits a day, 700 visits a day, 300. That would have probably been higher again, except that's when the account got suspended. And if I scroll down, you'll see the days targeted were Friday, Saturday and Sunday, which I suspect may be deliberate, maybe an attempt to catch the webmaster out because they're off for the weekend, not working. Okay, let's scroll down a bit further and have a look at what was actually going on. Okay, here's the important bit, the page's URLs. Here's the code that's been inserted into the blog, and this looks like PP update. In fact, if I scroll down here, I think there's one that actually says PayPal on it somewhere. Can't find it now. I'm sure there's one here that says PayPal. Basically what this looks like it's being used for is a landing page for a fishing trip to get people to put in their PayPal email address and password to grab that, steal it, and basically hijack their PayPal account. Okay, so you can see how important this is. This site effectively now will have a bad reputation. I'm going to have to put in requests with Google and Yahoo and Bing to get it re-included in the index, because it most likely will have been dropped. In fact, if we went to one of these pages, you'll see what we get is this website has been reported as unsafe. Okay, so I've tried to go to one of those URLs and it's brought up this warning message. In fact, if that's what it looks like in Internet Explorer, this is the version for Firefox. So you can see it's really not a nice screen. It gives information on why this page was blocked and basically gives the option to get me out of here. The option to ignore this warning and continue to the page is there, but it's basically tiny. And the same is true on Internet Explorer. Basically, it's going to take you back to your home page. So really, if this happens, if your site gets hacked in this way and used for a fishing trip or something like this, then basically you're going to get no traffic from here on in until you get it re-included, if you can get it re-included in Google and Bing and Yahoo. So you really don't want this to happen, okay? So that's a quick look at what can happen when your site is hacked. Now let's have a look at another example. Now this is where hackers are trying to force their way through the login using a brute force attack. Basically they're throwing lots of username and password variations at the login in the hope of getting the right combination. Now that actually happens a lot more than you'd think, simply because for the hackers this is all automated. So they can let the hacking software run 24/7 until they do find the right combination. What we're going to do is take a quick look at a series of warning emails that dropped into my inbox to let me know that this blog was under a brute force attack and that it was getting nowhere because of how we secure our blogs. I'm going to pop across to my email box. I'm just using Outlook here, and here are some of the emails that have come in. Now the important bit here to look at is down here at the bottom. You can see that what they're trying to do is use the admin username root and a password gelzo. If we go up to another one, there'll be a different password. It's the same username, root they're trying, but a different password. And if we scroll up through, you can see the lots of these coming in, all on the same day, all within minutes of each other, or within the same minute here, 10:38. You can see how fast these attacks are occurring. And if I scroll down again, you'll see this time it's still username root, but this time a different password again. So if I scroll up, let's go a bit further up. So you can see hundreds of these things are basically coming through, and it's still going for the admin username root, but another password this time. Let's scroll up again, and let's have a look at this time. It's still, no, it's a different username, it's webmaster, and now it's going after the password administrator123456. This is a classic example of a brute force attack, where basically they're using automated software to try and hack the site by guessing basically the username for the admin and the password, and they have as much time as they want to do this effectively, because they have a massive list of different usernames and passwords, and they'll just run through them using automated software until they happen across the correct one. As soon as they got that, they're into your site, you've lost it, you've lost control, and the damage is done. Okay, so that's just a couple of examples. Basically, if you use WordPress to build your sites, then if you're not already being targeted by hackers, you will be sooner or later. Probably sooner. The number of hacking attacks has risen dramatically this year and shows no sign of slowing down. So it's more important than ever to learn just how to lock down your blog to make sure hackers don't take away all your hard work. Now, that's exactly what BlogDefender shows you in simple to follow step-by-step videos, all using free plugins and tools to make sure your WordPress site is safe. Don't let hackers do to your site what they did to my mum's. Learn how to lock down your site today.